Hey, man. So we got a treat. The Prepper Librarian's back. We didn't get to do all of his books the last time we had him on, and so he's been gracious enough to come back and bring the fun stuff this time. This is going to be a collection of his self defense library. He's got an extensive one.
See.
So Mariah's not with us today, so we're self shooting this one. So bear with the bad camera effects. Here we go.
Hey, everybody.
Y'all remember the Prepper Librarian?
Yeah, listen, we got some books here that might help get you going in areas where you may or may not have studied before. But for example, every military has an elite force around the world, and they train them how to do hand-to-hand combat. Why? Because they're going to get in a fight. There's deadly fighting skills of the world. These are books that tell you what all the other people are doing. Now, you know, the military and the police and the SWAT and all those kind of people have to be trained in self-defense and in combat fighting techniques. Here's another one, Encyclopedia.
Are these a series, or are these all separate books
These
that
are
just
all
look
separate
similar?
books. This is what the Israeli military uses.
Now I've heard of Krav Maga.
Yeah,
Krav Maga, I think they call it.
Okay. What we're saying here is everybody else knows it. You better know it, okay? So we're going to show you some ones that will help you. If you haven't studied martial arts, get with it. You got to know some of this stuff. Don't sit there and get the fancy outfits and do that kind of. Just learn the basics that will help you to use different kind of tools to defend yourself and your family. The reason being, if you don't do it, Rex Applegate will tell you you'll get killed
Kill or get killed.
Kill or get killed. Sometimes you don't have a choice. Now, if you're going to do martial arts, you got to be aware of the law. All right? Same kind of rules that pertain to using weapons. You use it as self-defense only. In fact, there's a number of levels that you do preceding the use of physical force to deter someone that's attacking you. You can shout at them, say stop, go away. You can show them your weapons. You can fire off a warning shot. You can tell them you called the police and 911 and they're coming any second now. Whatever you can do to scare the attacker away. But if you can't scare them away, you better be able to use weapons. You better be able to fight for your life. And if all you got is a cane with you, here's a whole book on cane fighting, how to defend yourself with your cane.
Raising Cane, I love that. That's
yeah,
good.
yeah. And you might have a sword in here, and you might have a shotgun in here. It can be a fancy cane. So, all right. But if you don't have a cane, if you know personal self-defense, you're good. If you don't, you got to get the improvised weaponry. This basic book will tell you everything in the world can be a weapon if you know how to use it.
Hey, set that one aside. Let's come back to that here at the end. That's interesting.
That's a good one. I love that.
Yeah.
So, you know, books and
There, I'll hold it for you.
Sand and anything else. Now, the best thing to do is just stay out of everybody's way. Be a gray man, be a ninja.
This gray man stuff is interesting to me. I don't know anything about it.
The whole concept is blend into your environment. Don't stick out like a sore thumb. Don't let people know anything that looks memorable. Don't wear colorful clothing, all that kind of stuff. But there's books on fighting science. You got to be able and be prepared to defend yourself. They can't find you. They can't hurt you. There are knives and all kinds of weapons.
Survival knives.
You can hide these things all over in your vehicle and in your backpack and in your pockets and etc. Down through history, they've had all kinds of weapons.
I really like the history of weapons and whatnot.
Yeah, this is Zach's favorite.
Yeah,
I
have that one. that one is actually in the bathroom, well worn.
That's fun to see what everybody else in the past 4,000 years has been using. But you don't want to use it except when you have to. And then if you have to, do it, okay? For ladies, you do not want to get raped. Learn how to use your keys. Learn how to carry a stick or a taser or something in your car. And if you have to, learn how to shoot. Ultimate Shooting Skills Manual. Total Gun Manual.
So let's set that Ultimate Shooting Skills Manual aside and come back to that one too.
All right. So that's just some of my books on how to defend yourself and your family. You got to be fearless. Don't let anything stop you. My justification is I'm going to prevent this guy from becoming a murderer.
You're gonna save him from sinning.
I'm going to stop him from hurting himself and others.
Pick your favorite hand-to-hand book there.
Okay, well, let's see. I guess we'll have to go with that one.
We have to go with the Krav Maga. So if someone was gonna have a book on hand-to-hand, a book on, say, shooting. So I'm just trying to think about like the basic areas we could cover: shooting, hand-to-hand,
and improvised
and maybe
weapons.
Improvised weapons. Would there be like a fourth book or category you would add to that? Just we're talking about a guy who can't have. Yeah. Look at this guys. This isn't a tenth of his library. I'm showing you back here. So for those of us who don't have
this is the home portion.
Yeah. Someone who doesn't have the ability or maybe the wherewithal to put together that kind of a library.
I'm just showing you samples. This is
yeah. So I'm like, that's what I'm trying to come down to. Like, okay, so we need a shooting how to hand to hand. You guys can't see me. Hand to hand.
All right. I know what you're getting at. Yeah. Here's the thing: if they're within fighting distance, you better know hand to hand. You better know improvised weaponry. If they're farther away, you don't want them to get close. You can shoot them before they get here, And if you're really far away, drop a bomb or something.
Okay. Well, we're not coming up with our categories. Let's say this: improvised weaponry, improvised weaponry, shooting skills,
and hand to hand,
and maybe a little history wouldn't be a bad idea because that helps you.
Visualize what everybody else did.
It probably would help with the improvisation as well, I would imagine.
Oh yeah. In fact, they, anything made out of wood or metal, they used for weapon or stone. The Indians, the boomerangs, all that kind of stuff. It's nice to.
It would be kind of neat to have a book that talked about all of the weapons that grew out of agricultural implements.
That's all the martial arts weapons were.
Yeah.
They were the farmers with their little things like the sticks and the bows and all that stuff. That's what they used for weapons. And in the Middle Ages, only the knights had the swords. Everybody else just had their hoe and their pitchfork and stuff like that. So, but the most important thing is you got to have it up here. You got to be willing to do what it takes to protect your family and your children and your wife and anybody that's innocent. We protect the innocent. We punish the guilty.
Well, that's like the perfect note to end on right there. All right, man. We appreciate you. Thank you. Protect the innocent. Punish the guilty.